So we are really close to the new Black Flag coming out, Black Flag Resynced. And with that, I just want to talk a little bit about what I'm kind of worried about and what I'm kind of hopeful for and excited about. And mainly just to start it off, I'll start with the good things. The things that do look good to me are some of the graphics. Like, it looks like they really went hard on trying to make the game just look beautiful, because it's always been thought of as just being pleasant with the scenery and the background. But the other thing that I'm kind of hopeful for is, or excited about mainly, is the new content, because they are having what they said, I think like 6 new hours of content, and they have new characters, so that'll be exciting. But the thing that I am worried about that comes with the new content is the story, and whether or not the new content that they add is going to mess with how the story actually goes, because I don't actually want them to mess with the story in any way in particular, because I love Black Flag and I love the story. But I am slightly worried that what we get with new side characters, or the new adventures with Steve Bonnet and Blackbeard that we get, might actually end up changing it. And the reason why I say this is mainly because of, if we go into the menu here and we talk about some of the designs that they did, a big thing that people talked about that they did not like was the hidden blades not being an option to play with by themselves. And this is a huge thing to me, because it makes me wonder how they're going to get this one right here, the to suffer without dying. You know, if you play this one, you know this is the one where he frees, Anne and Mary, and then of course Mary dies. But the point about this one is, when you play this one, you are freed out of your cage, and the only thing that you are handed is the hidden blades, and you're supposed to make it to the other point without getting caught. But of course, they've changed some of the designs of the things in here to where you maybe can play and get caught, and it changes it. But I don't know how they're going to make that work with this, because if it changes, you can't fight with the hidden blade, and you're also, from what I know, you're not allowed to pick up any items or any other weapons. Like that's not allowed anymore, which is also really crappy, because that was one fun thing, is disarming people and then picking up their weapon and then killing them with their own weapon. But I'm really curious how they're gonna get through missions like this, or mission sequences like this, without the hidden blade being able to fight in normal combat, and you not having your sword on you during that mission. And I'm trying to think of some other missions that maybe force you to do it. I know that I am curious how they are going to do the missions where it does change, because, for instance, this mission right here, imagine my surprise. With this one, you follow, Benjamin Hornigold and Governor Rogers to the end of their little walk or whatever, where they join Governor Torres. And you're not supposed to get caught that whole time, because at the very end, that's when you get caught. Because, as it says, imagine my surprise, that's exactly what Benjamin Hornigold says to you. And if you change it up and you get caught beforehand and it doesn't start the mission over, how is that memory sequence going to play out if you're allowed to just mess with how they react to you? So I'm very curious in that sense, how they're going to do that, because I'll be honest, I'm one of the people who does not care about the tailing missions. It's not that I don't care, I like them. I don't understand everyone's hate towards them, and I hear all the different reasons, I don't like them, they don't make, they're not hard, there's just too many of them. But for me, I actually enjoyed them, and it never made me feel out of place in playing the game, because whenever you're doing a tailing mission, it's known in the game, because it's one thing that people complain about, is that you don't join the assassins until the very end. And so Edward isn't part of the network that has all the people who would go out and get information for him while he's out doing some other type of mission. So anything that Edward's doing, he has to figure out on his own, on his own. And so like that's why whenever something happens, it's usually very fast paced, which is why I think I like a lot of the stories. It's because Edward just hears like a rumor, and he's like, "Well, hold on, let's go check this shit out." And then he just immediately goes and starts following the person until he can get some information and figure out what he wants to know and what he wants to do. And to me, that I think is one reason why it felt very natural and flowed very well, because it was always about Edward just trying to, find his fortune in life and figure out how he's gonna do it. And of course, if you played the game, then you know how that goes, and you know how it ends up for Edward. But it just, I don't know. I'm very curious to how they're gonna do the story mode, because I knew they were gonna mess with the gameplay, and I mean I have my worries on that, because the other thing about the game to me is that I've always found Edward to be one of the easiest assassins for me to control, and I've always found his like parkour and like the way everything flows together on the map just fits better in a lot of ways than most of the other games. And I mean, I know people vary very differently, like on which Assassin's Creed is the best one or their favorite one to parkour on, but I just find Edwards to be easiest because it's basically like the same input system as Unity or Syndicate. It's just not really like layered out, and it's not so much a I can't remember what you call it, like context like design, where they have like a certain pathway that they'll follow. Like it's more free to move around on here than it is on there. But yeah, that's just all I wanted to talk about. I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts out before the game actually came out, because I mean I am gonna play it. I did pre-order it. I know right now Sony's doing a big what the fuck with the whole we're not doing the disc anymore, but we'll see how that goes. But I am excited to play Black Flag, and I hope everyone buys it and tries it out and gives their thoughts on it.